Brady bill restricting our Second Amendment. So Mack knows what he's doing, and he got an apology over the phone from Potok, who for years has been saying it, who's had Southern Poverty Law Center doing it, and they printed a tiny retraction in the back of their magazine, and that just won't do it. Sheriff Mack is going around the country. Sheriff Mack is going around the country, really upping the ante, educating sheriffs and police chiefs everywhere, and really going into high gear. And everywhere he's going, they're saying, well, here's the training manuals. They say, you say, kill us. So he went to Southern Poverty Law Center, and he said, you know, you as the federally funded trainers of local and all federal police, this is wrong. And I think I'm going to sue you. And so, again, he talked to Potok. Potok said, well, I'm sorry, you're right. We went back to the tapes of your speeches. You never said that. I mean, by the way, Mack's pretty calm, genteel, and milquetoast. He doesn't talk about violence and things like that. So they said, we'll print a retraction. And it didn't do anything, 6 months ago when they did it. He still gets to hear he's a guy calling for killing cops. So he has to sue them to bring it out in the media and point out they did this. And they've basically done it to almost everybody. I mean, it's MSNBC played a clip of myself and Ron Paul out of context where we talked about if they keep pushing things, it'll probably get violent, but that we're trying to avert it. They cut that part off. And, you know, in that special they had, Rise of the New Right, and said, Ron Paul and Alex Jones want to kill cops or whatever. This is the standard thing they do. So the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center can come into the departments and brainwash everybody against the Second Amendment, against the Bill of Rights, the Founding Fathers. I mean, these manuals are insane. Bob Barr's bad. Alex Jones is bad. Ron Paul's bad. 10 years ago, having an American flag flying in your house was a sign of evil. Pocket constitutions, pure evil. And, of course, people hearing this who are normal Americans and aren't brainwashed are like, well, that's ridiculous. I've got the training videos. It's in Road to Tyranny, public online. The firemen sent us from a police and fire department and sheriff's department meeting, a packed classroom, and FEMA's up there, military guy, high and tight haircut, going, George Washington, terrorist, Thomas Jefferson, terrorist. They're bad. They're our enemy. People that believe in, the Bill of Rights are the enemy. They want to kill you. And the cops are in there agreeing with it. And then I keep talking about this because it's key evidence. I have the footage out of a squad car video in state police in Virginia. And they, at a checkpoint, they want to search a woman's car, and she says no. They pull her out, find a pocket constitution, and start hyperventilating and leaning on the car like they just entered hell and seen Satan. I mean, some kind of mind control, like they drugged the cops or brainwashed them somehow. We're going to come back with the admission that the House passed it. It's going to Obama's desk, indefinite detention for citizens.
HempUSA.org.
All right, let me get into our top story. And it's not just a story. It affects all of us. You go to drudgereport.com on the right-hand side. You see the headlines. Coming soon, Americans in Gitmo. Next story. Bill allows indefinite detention without trial. Next link. Obama demanded law apply to U.S. citizens. Next link. Even Al Jazeera asked, how did we get here? Yeah, Saddam's constitution said he couldn't indefinitely detain without charges. Only in America would they be public about it. But if you click on that third link, it's an Infowars.com link. It's funny. I was already reading Drudge this morning, and I was telling Watson, you got to write another article and send it to Drudge because he's covering the indefinite detention, and point out that we've been documenting that Obama's been for it all along with the proof. And then sure enough, I hit refresh, and they had it up there. So there is the report. Indefinite detention bill heads to Obama's desk as White House drops veto threat. Establishment media and neocons still pretend NDAA doesn't apply to American citizens. Now, let's stop right there. This is the type of deception I deal with. 3 weeks ago, we learned that they've put the provisions in the bill. It says citizens are exempt in one section, but another, where they always do it, says that you're not exempt. And you can be secretly arrested, disappear forever, and then if you connect it to the other acts, be executed, be tortured. And Obama's out there killing U.S. citizens with drones, setting the precedent, and said, we'll do it in America. Now you see drones going after farmers in North Dakota. Air Force. They announced Northcom. Yeah, we're getting rid of posse comitatus. We'll use the military against you. We'll kill anybody in the world, including the U.S. So Obama has people come out and say, I'm going to veto that. But if you read the fine print, he said, because I already have that power, I don't need to be given the power by Congress, which itself is incredible treason. Just like he said, I don't need their authorization to attack Libya. Plus, it's peaceful. I have UN authorization. I get my orders from the UN. Remember 6 months ago? The, quote, no-fly zone and all that? Incredible things are happening. They're fully butchering the Bill of Rights and Constitution right now, and they've got to do it in plain view so the military and police and bureaucrats go along with it. They got to set up highway checkpoints with the Army and Marines to just get you to accept it. It's got to be out in the open because they want to go fully operational against everybody. So they got to hide it in plain view like it's normal so that people don't stand down. They've just got to, instead of even selling it, they just do it and say, that's the way it is. After all these years we warned you, it was being set up behind the scenes. As they announced the world government, the global corporate takeover, this now happens. And so for weeks we have to fight the trolls. And I saw the government IP addresses, the trolls on our channels, the trolls on our websites, the IP addresses, saying, you're a liar, it doesn't affect citizens, how dare you, to make the debate about, is it for citizens or not? Then there's more deception. Obama comes out and says he's going to veto it. The ACLU hails him. It fools a bunch of people who later had to retract. RT, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts and others, and I'm not blaming him. Everybody gets fooled. Then finally I got people to read the subsection, and others did. And I had Bruce Fine, other constitutional lawyers on to break down what was really there. And then Obama, we told you Monday, I said, you watch, he will sign it. Even though he says he doesn't want the congressional power, he secretly is for it. Our congressional sources have told us. And then sure enough, the video from debate I hadn't even seen surfaced of Senator Carl Levin, John McCain, all of them. It's in Paul Watson's article, Indefinite Detention Bill Heads to Obama Desk as White House Drops Veto Threat. Obama was behind it the entire time with the Republicans. Again, to end posse comitatus and use the military against us, which they've already been secretly training them for at least 15 years. Let's go to one of the short clips of Carl Levin. Here it is as we go to break.
And I'm wondering whether the senator is familiar with the fact that the language which precluded the application of Section 1031 to American citizens was in the bill that we originally approved in the Armed Services Committee, and the administration asked us to remove the language which says that U.S. citizens and lawful residents would not be subject to this section. Is the senator familiar with the fact that it was the administration that asked us to remove the very language which we had in the bill which passed the committee, and that we removed it at the request of the administration that would have said that this determination would not apply to U.S. citizens and lawful residents? I'm just wondering, is the senator familiar with the fact that it was the administration which asked us to remove the very language, the absence of which is now objected to by the senator from Illinois?
I'm familiar now because the senator from Michigan...
Okay, we're going to go to break and come back. CBS News admits it does affect U.S. citizens. Get ready. They've declared war on us. We had better rally patriots worldwide, and yeah, we have. And you, the listeners of these broadcasts that have passed out the DVDs, the books, the information, the audio links, the YouTube videos, we're reaching tens of millions a week now. But it's not enough. The system knows we're awake and is just going ahead with absolute total robbery. The head of the CME Group, the biggest commodities exchange system in the world, trillions a day, has come out, of course, as we played yesterday here on air, and said in testimony before Congress that Corzine of MF Global did know where the money went and took it. Federal regulators would have us believe that now for a month and a half, they don't know where the money went. They know where every red cent went, just like Forbes and AP and others did a month ago. Much of it went to J.P. Morgan Chase. of private bank accounts, private brokerage accounts. It's a new level of evil, just like all of it is, launching wars without congressional approval. The Congress makes the laws, the Congress declares war, the Congress authorizes war, now does nothing. Now they come out and they announce, you know what, Kellogg, Brown, and Root of Halliburton built the FEMA camps, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and now we're going to man the camps. And we put that out last Tuesday. It got zero mainstream media coverage. Official documents, official links. We got it off a hidden link that was sent to us on the Kellogg, Brown, and Root site. Media bought and paid for is not media. It is enemy banker propaganda arms. And you're not going to get the truth from them until it's too late. Now CBS News, now ABC News, now Associated Press are, you know what, it does affect citizens, and you will be secretly arrested and disappeared. So they can walk into the troops and the FBI and the police and say, we now will have people disappear. This is normal. And then, of course, it'll be some Arab terrorist, supposedly. And it'll be like, well, at least it's for somebody who looks scary, got a beard. And then they set the precedent with that. And yeah, the government's killing terrorists with drones that are American citizens. What's the big deal? When you get the training manuals that we've published, that law enforcement has sent us, it's all about returning veterans, number one. Gun owners, retired cops, landowners, libertarians, constitutionalists, gunsmiths, business owners, conservative preachers. And it's all you conservatives that went along with this thinking, oh, well, we're just getting a foreign enemy. Never forget 9/11. I saw some guy driving a Crown Vic today. Took a photo of it. I may blur out his license plate and show it on the TV show or Twitter it or something. And I was watching, driving behind him for about 10 minutes today. And he had a bumper sticker that said, God bless our troops, especially the snipers. Then he had a 9/11 never forget. I was thinking, well, yeah, I mean, God bless our troops. Most of them mean well and are people with courage and commitment, more than the general public. I can admire that. I have a lot of family in the military. And our military certainly has a great illustrious history in many respects. But if America was run by a foreign power and was hijacked, which it is, now what is that military? Well, it's now like a hijacked bus. The bus may be a nice bus, not bad itself, but they're going to try to run you over with it. It's the enemy. They've been trained that we, the people, are the enemy. The government has declared war on us. The government is involved in insider trading publicly. The government's involved in narcotics trafficking and money laundering. It's even in the New York Times 2 weeks ago. And no one gets in trouble. And the government grows the opium in Afghanistan and ships it out. And then has the nerve to try to pull somebody like me over at a checkpoint. I've been through checkpoints and want to search my car like I've got drugs. Even if I did, which I don't, even if I did have illegal drugs, it's a joke. They're only illegal to keep the price up. It's a fraud. When you wear that uniform, you now work for a hijacked government that's been caught thousands of times trafficking narcotics. Not low-level cops, the entire system. Most police now are just there to raise revenue. And they're all excited like hunting dogs to find something wrong and get patted on the head and get promoted. And then lie to people and say there's not quotas when the memos have come out for decades that there's quotas. And then when a crime gets committed, it's been a mixed bag in my life when my car's been stolen or house broken into. Sometimes they won't even show up. Other times they've shown up in 5 minutes.